For more analysis in the Greek debt saga, we're joined by Constance Baroudos, a policy analyst at the Lexington Institute think tank. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's begin with Parliament expected to vote within the next hour or so. It really has no choice to pass these reforms. So what would the outcome signal?
Okay, so what's important to look at here is how is it going to pass Parliament? Syriza, the current party in power, platform was for them to have, they promised the people no austerity and that they can stay in the euro. And obviously, he found out the hard way that that's not possible.
None of that is happening, and we're looking at live pictures of debate taking place in Athens. I'm sorry, go ahead.
So the opposition party are the ones that are voting yes for the ballot package last week. So we're seeing him kind of turn a 180. And now he's partnering with the opposition party, which actually was telling citizens to vote yes on the referendum. But the people don't want austerity anymore.
Tsipras, though, remains fairly popular despite a huge division in his party. And we saw him once again earlier pleading with Parliament ahead of this vote. What is going to happen to him politically, and what will be the view of him by his own people?
Prime Minister Tsipras is looked at still as a leader because he put up a fight. And you do have to give him credit. He definitely has made the entire world pay attention to Greece for the past couple of months, to the point where the IMF and other leaders in the euro and outside of the eurozone are really reevaluating these austerity policies and seeing if there's even a future to have them. Now, right now, there is an issue of part of his party is not supporting the current agreement, if you want to call it that, or bailout. There is a possibility that they're going to have to call a vote of confidence in fall, depending on if the minimum number of members of Parliament do not agree.
The government left out tax increases on farmers and new regulations on early retirement in regards to this vote. Is it because they knew it wouldn't pass or trying to get this done as quickly as possible?
I think what's important here is that these austerity policies are cutting spending. And remember, the economy right now has contracted by 25% over the past 5 years. Unemployment is over 25%. Youth unemployment is over 50%. Greece now is borrowing to pay debt and interest. There's no growth in the economy. I predict that we will be back at this point in a couple of years. And really the only way that Greece can regain its economic sovereignty is really to exit the euro, because unfortunately Greece's creditors are not willing to restructure the debt to allow Greece to first get back on its feet and have economic growth and then pay back its creditors.
And as we've seen, Greeks are very angry about what's been taking place. Life has been changing for them already. Things are much more expensive than before. What do you foresee for life for them?
It's an identity crisis. Greeks are European. They consider themselves European. Right now, they don't have economic sovereignty. They have Germany and Greece's creditors telling them what to do. They don't like that. Don't get me wrong. The Greek government definitely made mistakes in the past with borrowing. We need to develop the private sector there. There's a lot of room and improvement. But you cannot instill good economic policies when there's no growth. Right now, unfortunately, the people are suffering. And I didn't want to get to the point where I would have to say that I think the best thing for Greece is to leave the euro, but that's where we are today. Because unfortunately, even though if Greece leaves the euro, it will have 5 to 6 years, depending on estimates, of depression. At least they'll relieve their own shackles and be able to devalue their currency, attract foreign investors, and tourists. It would be cheaper for tourists to visit there. Because right now, with this new bailout agreement, for instance, corporate tax was increased by another 3%. We're trying to instill growth, not take it away, and that's what's happening today.
All right, Constance Baroudos, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
We appreciate you being here on the show.